don't think we understand that men can actually and categorically ruin your life.
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. Today's video, it is an amazing conversation and I have a lot to say. Anyway, this video is a video of a sister who came online to talk about how most men have destroyed women's life, how most men have put women in the situation where some women didn't get their degree because they were chasing after men. They put men first. She just went on literally to talk about how men has ruined a lot of women's life and how women should start putting themselves first, how men will always put themselves first before women, and how women have compromised their life just to fit into a man's mode and just to be with a man. And she wanted to really say a lot that has strike a bigger conversation. So let's go check out what the sister have to say. Then we'll come back and talk more.
The older we get, y'all gotta let them men go. It's people without a degree today because of a man. I don't think we understand that men can actually and categorically ruin your life. So we're sitting down saying, oh yeah, he's so toxic. No, he can ruin your life. It's so many people today who aren't where they want to be, haven't reached the goals that they wanted to reach, and, basically were deterred in life because of a man. So when people are on this app telling y'all, hey, y'all, choose wisely, hey, y'all, don't be desperate, hey, y'all, don't settle, it's more than just having a good man or being in a good relationship or being in a healthy relationship. This is your life. Like, get in the field about it. Get serious about it. Protect your future, protect your goals and ambitions. When you have a toxic man around you, it can literally be the end of you.
So please go down in the comment section and let me know if you agree with what she said or not. Go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think. I have so much to say about this, and this has gotten a lot of people talking. So I'm going to share my own thought towards the end of the video. But this has gotten a lot of people talking and sharing their thought if they agree and disagree. And also some people were sharing their story, how putting a man first, how it ruined their life and how it did not ruin their life. Okay, so let's go check out people's thoughts on this, what people think about this. Then we'll come back and talk more. But please go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think. Share your story if you want to. Love to hear your story. If you're comfortable, feel free share your story. Okay, so go down and share your thought in the comment section. And with that, let's go check out other people's reaction.
Well, it's people without a degree today because of a man.
I wanted to stitch this video because I feel like it's very common. Like, I see it so much now that girls will let men really ruin their life. I feel like a lot of girls go into relationships or situationships without putting their goals and ambitions first. And I feel like if you do that, you wholeheartedly you're basically allowing for that man to ruin your life. I believe in dating, you should be comfortable with yourself and still have all your priorities still above that man that you're with. Because if anything happened between you and your man, and now all of a sudden, now you can't eat, now you can't do your assignments, now you can't sleep, now you can't go to work, you're literally putting yourself on the same playing field with any other girl he was messing with. I'm just saying. A man will never deter you from the finish line. And a man will always add to what you have. Never subtract, concise, or diminish what you have going on for yourself, period.
The older we get, y'all gotta let them men go.
My ex tried so desperately hard to move in with me to my new apartment. Keep in mind now, this is my new apartment. I got everything myself, and we weren't even together for a year yet, and we are already having so much problems. When I refused, and I was like, I'm just not ready yet. Let's just see. Like, we both have to be mutually ready for this if you're gonna move in with me in my apartment. And he used that as a form of control, as in, oh, you just don't love me enough. I just love you more because I'm willing to do all this stuff for you. I'm willing to do all this stuff for you. Baby, save it, save it, save it. Please do not be manipulated. They will use everything in the book. And then when you don't agree, they're going to be like, oh, you just don't love me enough. No, baby, I love myself enough. I love myself enough, baby. You should too, because ain't no way.
It's people without a degree today because of a man. I don't think we understand that men can actually and categorically ruin your life. So many people today who aren't where they want to be, haven't reached the goals that they wanted to reach, and, basically were deterred in life because of a man.
Women are often raised to be selfless, to nurture, to pour into other people even when her cup is empty. And men often are raised to prioritize themselves and their own happiness. So when opportunities come up, he's not thinking about the relationship. He's not thinking about, what it means for her. He's going to take it. But I feel like women don't often do that. You're considered a bad girlfriend if you don't drop everything to be at this man's side. How many times we have seen women sacrifice their dreams, their goals, all of this for the sake of a man, just for that same man to throw it back in her face years later and to mock her for not being accomplished. These are the same men that beg their wives to quit their job to be a full-time mom. And then after a few years of that, they mock her for not earning an income because of all of her labor is unpaid. You shouldn't be the only one always expected to do the sacrificing. You shouldn't be the only one that has to drop out of school or quit your job or stop earning an income or leave your dream job or move away from everything. You shouldn't always have to be the one who is doing all the sacrificing.
100%.
Men can actually and categorically ruin your life. So we're sitting down saying,
yes, and a good man can still be bad for you. It is so easy to assume that when we say that men can ruin women's lives, we are only talking about toxic men who disrespect women, when that is not true. Good men who have different expectations for relationships than you do, who have morals and values that don't align with yours, who want to live a certain lifestyle that you are not interested in. Those men are also a danger to your life. Which brings me to my next point, which is that having this mindset that all men are trash while still being open to the idea of being in a relationship in the future is doing a disservice to yourself. Because when you meet a man who is a decent human being, it is going to be that much harder to figure out whether you two are actually compatible or if you are just not used to a man treating you with bare minimum respect. And when you add that onto a scarcity mindset, this idea that you need to choose the option in front of you because you do not believe that there is going to be a better fit coming your way, it is not shocking that there are people who are in unhappy relationships despite believing that they chose a good person. Because two things can be true at once. Someone can be a kind, decent human being and still not be the right fit for you. Which is why it is so important to decenter men. Because when you are in this mindset where you are living a life and making a life that is fulfilling for you, you are not going to allow anyone to be your partner because you are going to be comfortable leaving that spot open for the right person instead of just anyone. Your life, your goals, your future are way too important for you to put at permanent risk because you based a decision off of temporary panic and pressure.
I agree.
there's people without a degree today because of a man. Can we please start this conversation and start shunning women who put their man over their education? Bro, I have a story time. When I was 19, I had a friend who wanted to get into a nursing program just like me. Y'all already know the nursing program is mad competitive, is mad rigorous. You have to have like a 90 average to get in. Fine, whatever. So I'm like, okay, let's take our class together so it'll be easy for us to study. Boom. So we're going over the schedules that we could possibly have for that semester. And she's like, I don't think that I can take classes this semester because it doesn't match up with my boyfriend's schedule and I'm not going to be able to see him. What does that have to do with you taking your classes? You can see him another time or not see him at all. So I ended up taking a class for myself because I was not going to let that stop me. And when the semester ended, I asked her, like, okay, you're going to go next semester, next fall, whatever. And she's like, oh, no, I'm going to take a year off because me and my boyfriend have been having problems. And I just want to be around him more. And like, what? So the next year when she finally decided to take her prerequisites, her boyfriend cheated on her. So she wasn't even able to focus on her schoolwork because she was so focused on arguing with that man every single day.
Oh, no.
So she would be like, oh, I'm failing my classes. I'm failing this. I'm failing that. Because, girl, like, what? Do you know what type of program you're trying to get into? Why are you playing games? Ditch that. Who cares? Like, oh, my God. So that happened, like, what, 4 or 5 years ago? To this day, she's not in her school. And that's fine. She probably changed her path. But, like, I really feel bad for her because I know what her dream was. I know what she wanted to be. And she let that man get in the way to that. And I don't understand why y'all be doing that. So that's my question. What be going through y'all brains when y'all like, oh, let me put my man over my education? Men do not do that for y'all. They don't care. They will leave y'all high and dry. It's people without a degree today because of a man.
Back when I was in college, I was a sales associate at a clothing store, and most of the other girls who worked there were also in college at the time too. And we had this one manager who was just an awful person, just the meanest person ever, and she treated all of us like crap. She was so horribly rude and disgusting and just loved making people cry. Now, after working there for a while, I learned that she was married to a man who treated her like garbage. She wasn't happy in that marriage, but she felt stuck. And I remember her saying one day that she regretted getting married instead of going to college and becoming a vet like she wanted to. And I'm sure that's why she was so mean to everyone that worked there, because she was jealous of the fact that we were going to college and doing what she wished she had done. But she didn't do it because she chose to get married instead of pursuing her dreams and accomplishing whatever goals she had for herself. Don't chase a man. Chase your degree and get your dream job. Worry about a man later. So you don't have to live a life filled with regrets or feel like you're stuck in a relationship.
Well, it's people without a degree today because of a man.
No, but we really need to talk about this. All of my college age girlies, tap in, okay? Share this with a friend. And even if you're not college age and you're just on your grind, you need to tap in. So I don't know y'all like that, so I'm not going to tell y'all all of my business. However, I will give y'all a quick story about how when I was in college, I was hustling backwards, y'all. So long story short, I was dating this guy. He was a few years older than me. And this man had me going through it, y'all. I was losing weight. And it was more than one man, to be honest. But sis was losing weight. Sis was not going to class. Sis was in her room with the curtains drawn. Sis was failing classes and having to repeat them. That cost money. Hey, Joe Biden, pay my student loans because, I was just going through some things at the time. So I ended up spending way more money than I need to on college. Ended up having to repeat classes all because I was not focused on my focus. The one thing that I will tell you about men is that they are always focused on their focus. The same guy that I was losing sleep over, he was doing internships, he graduated with a high-paying job, and I was there repeating classes. So when it comes to men, use them for what they're good for. If it's a phenomenal person who is actually aligned with you, you take that seriously. Anything else, have a good time, but remember to focus on your focus and keep your eye on the prize because they always will.
The older we get, y'all gotta let them men go.
People in our lives have the power that we give them. And while she's right, men can ruin your life. They can also make your life wonderful. I'm just pointing this out because I really feel like we need to hop off the train that all men are a certain thing or that all women are. It's harmful either way. But there certainly is a love that is extremely healing and extremely validating and powerful and magical and fairy tale-like. But if you hate men, you will only meet men that reaffirm that you should hate men. Anyways, to conclude, I would just argue that the partner you choose, whether you're a man or a woman and whoever it is you're dating, will change the circumstances of your life, be it good or bad. So it's the biggest and most important decision you'll ever make in your life. Choose wisely.
The older we get, y'all gotta let them men go.
Yes, she is absolutely right. Let me tell you, the amount of times that I've been in a relationship with somebody where they see my ambition, they see me going after things that I want and desire out of life, and they see that as a threat. Y'all already heard on this app how my ex-husband dragged me for filth and left me to die in a hospital bed. But it's not even like those extreme situations that causes the ripple in the relationship. It's the little small things, them picking at you constantly, planting those little seeds of self-doubt. You don't need to go back to school. I take care of everything. I pay for everything. You don't need that part-time job. You don't need to go get a degree. Oh, you want to switch jobs? Nobody's going to pay you more to do that. Oh, you want to start your own business? Nobody's going to pay for your little hobby. You should just give it up. You should just do it for you. It's all those little conversations that happen throughout the course of a relationship that really deter you from what you're trying to do. And for me personally, I always wanted to get my bachelor's degree, but he was always like, you don't need to do that, or we can't afford that right now, or blah, blah, blah. It was always some excuse. I wanted to start a couple businesses. I wanted to do a YouTube channel and actually get paid for it. I wanted to do videography. And he was always, oh, your little hobby. Oh, your little business. Oh, you so cute with your little camera. And then when the check started rolling in, then he was, well, I mean, it's just gonna be a little bit of money. Like, you're not gonna be all that. But it's a cute little hobby though. Me wanting to do music and put out an album, and it was, oh, your cute little hobby. Like, I'm glad you're making music for you. But you know what? The real growth didn't actually happen until I left that marriage, until my entire life fell apart, until I had no apartment, until I had no job with a good title, until I had no car, no vehicle, no nothing, like sleeping on an air mattress, pregnant with my daughter. Then I went and I was able to get myself an apartment. I was able to get myself a new car that I paid for cash. I was regularly seeing clients and taking on projects every month. I ended up crowdfunding my entire album and it was paid for. And now at my big old age, I've gone back to school and I'm in the process of finishing my bachelor's degree, which will be done end of next year. But honestly, none of this would have happened, at least to the level that I wanted it to happen, if I didn't get out of that marriage, if I didn't get out of those other relationships. But without a doubt, none of this would have happened, at least to the extent that I wanted to, if I didn't leave those other relationships. Because anytime I found myself wanting to go after things that I loved, that I adored, goals that I had in life, they always had something to say. So if you feel like you're dating one of those people that's always trying to humble you, that's always trying to like plant seeds of doubt in your mind, just get rid of them.
Y'all gotta let them men go.
I could write an entire thesis on why I'm an advocate enthusiast for dating in college. The original creator said there are women out here who don't have degrees because of a man. And I'm here to say, like, even you getting that degree and them getting that degree will not stop them from attempting to ruin your life. And twice has a man tried to ruin my life. Fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. I dated this one dude in college, and for context, I went to school in North Carolina and lived with my family in Texas where I grew up and was raised. With 20 hours from school. Summer break comes around and we're still dating, and I'm like, I'm about to go home. And we're talking about plans for the summer. I'm like, I'm gonna go home. But something in my gut told me, like, if I go home, we're not gonna stay together. And I wanted to be with him. So I'm working my little butt off, trying to get an internship in Greensboro, trying to stay with my internship I had on campus at school, trying to find a job there, like subleasing apartments, like crazy stuff. Looking back now, that was crazy. Because I was only 20 and my parents were like, you're coming home, that's expensive, and why would we pay rent for you to be in Greensboro for the summer? We have absolutely no classes or anything to do, and your summer classes are online. Long story kind of short, I ended up going home for the summer and started working a regular summer job there. We're gonna need that for later on. A month after I went home, he broke up with me. And his exact words on the phone were, we can't do this every time you go home. I said, do what? You knew I lived in Texas when you asked me to be your girlfriend. I dated somebody else in college because I'm young and lit and pretty and turning cute. We're talking about our futures and like possibly living together, what we're gonna do after graduation, you know, blase blase. And at some point we're talking about, you know, like coming home from work and like the little fantasy things. And he's like, something, as long as I get to talk about my day first. I said, excuse me? He said, as long as I get to talk about my day first. I said, well, like, why do you get to talk about your day at work first? This is hypothetical, by the way. And he was like, because my day is going to be harder. And at the time, his career path was probably going to be more emotionally, mentally, and physically taxing. I work in marketing. Everything is harder than marketing. But at the end of the day, he basically already belittled my potential career. Mind you, we didn't even have our degrees, didn't even graduate yet, no job offers. So who knows, God knows what we would have been doing in the future. So hypothetically, his job was going to be harder than mine. Already, he wanted to talk about his day first and belittling my career, and my day was not going to be as hard as his, and my job wasn't. So he tried to ruin my life because that seems so minuscule then and there, but like that wasn't my first red flag. But I'm like 5, 10, 15 years into the future, I'm still going to be the marketing baddie that I am. And I'm not going to have a partner that thinks that my job is not as hard as theirs, and I have to put my feelings and my emotions aside simply because you think your job is hard. Like, that's not fair. And in the first example, he wanted me to stay there for the summer with him, away from my family, away from my friends, my childhood city, just to be up under him all summer. And fun fact, the job I worked that summer, I now am working full-time at that same company. So, see how that worked out for me? Mind you, we're all getting our degrees. We all went to the same school. And they still were choosing themselves little by little through our relationship because they will be selfish and they will not care. And I'm a huge advocate. And I will say early 20s, especially as a Black woman, you need to be selfish. You need to make intentional decisions to be selfish and always choose yourself because they will choose themselves always and will put you on the back burner. But because your partner is going to be a good girlfriend or whatnot, you think, okay, I can compromise. There's no reason if you don't have that paperwork that says you are married, you need to be compromising for anything. And you can't do the wrong thing with the right person. If you ever have any idea in your head of like, if I do this for myself, what's best for me, I might lose this person, you need to lose them anyway. Because the right person won't make you feel bad or won't make you making the right decision for yourself about them.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. But please keep it respectful. Yeah, on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So feel free, share your opinion. Just be respectful about it, okay? So I find this conversation very interesting. And I noticed that all the stages were women, but with ladies talking. So I'm going to try and see if I can get the men's own reaction and then do that. I don't know why all the stages were women. It wasn't planned, but that's what it was. But I'm going to do that. There might be a part 2. Not sure yet, but there might be a part 2. But it's really interesting for this conversation that is being had, how the sister started conversation about men running women's life and all that. And I said yes and no at the same time. I agree with the statement and I disagree with the statement. I agree with the statement because in actual reality, yes, men are ruining women because of women are naturally raised to center men in everything about their life and even their decision and how they move and how they navigate life because the men are the prize. So naturally, especially in my culture, especially in my society, I like talking about my culture and my society because that is why I know that's where I was raised. Is that women are naturally everything you do. The most achieved thing you ever achieve is being somebody's wife, answering somebody else's name and having their kid. So most women navigate their life towards that. They will give up a lot of themselves just to attain that society goal, that culture, that goal that society has set up for them. So I kind of agree with that statement that men are ruining a lot of women's life. I agree. But I disagree because I want women to start holding themselves responsible and understanding that yes, society has programmed us that, but it's your life. You decided, you made the decision. So hold yourself accountable. Because I feel like that's another thing we need to start doing as women, holding ourselves accountable so that we can make better decisions rather than just pushing the blame just all on the men and all that. And for me, this is really interesting. And this is why I create the type of content I create, letting women to know that they have to be very, very intentional, very cautious, very deliberate on how they navigate life and even being with someone in terms of relationship. Because whether we like it or not, we women will get into relationship based on how society has programmed us and in a very emotional state, while most men get into relationship with a very clear goal and how the relationship serves them. Whether I want to agree or disagree on that, most men go into a relationship because that relationship serves one need or the other for them. And the sister talking about most women have dropped out from school, not get a degree. I have seen this happen firsthand for a whole lot of people in my culture, in my society, in my environment. It's something that is very prevalent in my environment that people a lot of girls just do in a heartbeat. Once they're dating someone, they get pregnant, it's marriage, they drop out from school, and that is it. I even have a sister that did that. She didn't finish the university. We were in university about the same time. And she dropped out of university because she was pregnant. They got her married, and that was it. I have another friend, I'll call her a friend, that was pregnant towards like second year in the university, and she dropped out of school to have the kids. So I can tell of story and story over and over again. And in these women, if you ask them and want to have this conversation, these are women in their late 30s, approaching 40. If you ask them this conversation, to have this conversation, and they will say, oh, that was a bad decision they made. But at that time, because society has involved them and all that, as programmed, then they feel like that is what they have to do. They have to compromise. This is a once in a lifetime thing. The man is the prize. Having a family is the prize. But I'm really happy that right now we are having conversation and try to educate younger girls, because younger girls, this is why I say when you're in your 20s, you're easily impressionable. You just want to do things and you've not really unlearned some of those things society has taught you or they've naturally raised you with. So I'm really happy that here on this channel I have people in their 20s watching this channel and learning from older women, older girls, sharing their experience and having conversation like this. And this is why I'll always tell younger girls, have a very clear definition of what you are and who you are, and then chase it. And one of the things that leads to women also like making men the prize is when they center men, and that also go with a lot of trauma response. Some of them is daddy issues, some of them is alone issues, everything just boiled down. It's is a circle, is a whole combination of a whole lot of things that sends women to give so much of themselves in relationship rather than look out for themselves. They rather try to preserve the relationship, even if the relationship does not serve any purpose for them. And the sister talking about, oh, you can be with a good man and still ruin your life. I agree with that. When you're with somebody and the person doesn't have the same mindset, the same life goals as you are, they always have to be a compromise, and especially it's the woman that usually go on the compromise. And just because she wants to have a relationship, she will compromise on her own goals, her own life vision, just to fit his own. And in the long run, you will just find out that you're not living the life that you want to, or the life that you've dreamt for yourself. So ladies, please always put yourself first. Ask yourself, if you're in a relationship, how does this relationship serves me? And you are fine by yourself. Like, try to desensitize men as much as possible. I'm not saying that we don't want men. We want men as women. Everybody wants somebody at a time, but we don't need it. And you can be fine by yourself, rather than have people that don't push you to your life goal, to your life mission, your ambition. Rather than just having somebody just filling a space in your life, you're better off alone. You can do bad alone by yourself than adding somebody else with it. So yeah, that's my gospel I'm preaching today. Ladies, look after yourself. Always put yourself, be selfish in your decision. Always do what works for you. Don't compromise. If it's yours, it's going to stay, and you guys are going to work it through, and it's going to treat you right. If it's not, it's just going to wither away and all that. And if you're in your 20s, I just want to tell you, sometimes the person you're with right now may not be the person you end up with. Because as you grow, you get to know yourself, very self-aware. You start seeing those people and like, what was I doing? Other ladies in the house, I need you to confirm this for me down in the comment section, that the people you dated in your 20s, now you look back at it and you ask yourself, what was I thinking? Like, what was my other? What was I putting up with all that? Let me know if that is a reality. So younger ladies, always put yourself first. It has to serve your purpose. Your dreams and your visions are valid. So chase it, go with it with your full chest, and don't apologize for it. Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. But please keep it respectful. You're on this channel. We're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So feel free to share your opinion. Go on and share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting this channel and this girl. With that said, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.